Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud. And this is the War of the Worlds, episode 5, the Greatest Showman recap. We're going to be covering episode 5 and episode 6. I'm a little bit late. I've been dealing with a bit of a cold lately. And once again, I will not be recording with a proper mic. I really wasn't planning on covering this season at all. So now that I think that the season is cool again, or the show is cool again, I'm going to try and get that mic back. So let's cover the Greatest Showman. Let's start off with the mission, which was Tired Out, where we have Polly and Natalie D, Ninja, whatever, winning. Also Turbo and Nani and Kara and Theo. I've mentioned my complaints before about how the missions seem to be kind of like, well, the title alone makes you think that things should be epic as shit. They're just kind of generic, in terms of the challenge, what they've provided for us. And once again, it's endurance, which, you should get those things in there just to see where other teams lie. But yeah, you're just kind of like running through the sand, the desert. Everything's going to happen in the desert. You're going to have to grab tires and line them up in the order that they're supposed to. But yeah, once again, Polly and Ninja winning. Turbo, who I'm all about, wins again with Nani, Kara, and Theo. So that's cool, right? But then there's people that, what was it, Jen and Gus, who have been basically kind of like in the background the entire time, minus Jenna's relationship with Zach. They haven't really been showing up lately, but they were pretty darn close. They end up winning, and they end up going and, wait, what else happens? I gotta mention what else happens during this mission. Oh yeah, this is where Stephen Bear, I guess, that's when he quits because Devon is just, slowing him down. He quits, he throws a fit. TJ says, "Oh, that's fucking pathetic." And right then and there, I'm reminded why TJ is probably the most worst host of any TV game show we've ever fucking seen, He puts himself in there like he's so goddamn important. And he's not. Really, will anyone really remember him when it's all said and done? He is no Steve Harvey. He is no Pat Sajak. He is no goddamn Alex Trebek. I was going to throw Bob Barker in that, but with the alleged sexual harassment things that have been coming up, never mind. But yeah, a host, a TV game show host saying, "Fucking pathetic," is so goddamn professional, isn't it? Oh yeah, and then after the mission is done, he's like, "Bear, it won't happen again. It won't happen again. It won't happen again." He just keeps on saying that. Like you have any sort of fucking authority. I'm sorry. If you listen to my stuff at all, you'll know that I really don't care for TJ. But because he hates quitters. But it's like, TJ only comes alive he only comes alive, he's only interesting, I guess, when he's yelling at people or laughing because he's torturing them, fucking please notice that stuff. All right, so let's go into the, what would you call it, the nominations or whatever. Polly and Natalie, they nominate Bear, Stefan or whatever, and Devon, because of his lack of sportsmanship, which is fine. When people act up, they do get that nomination. But it is funny, though. I do remember, every single time I watch Stephen Bear, whatever the fuck his name is, do anything, I remember that there was a thing going on online where they were like, hey, MTV paid him 6 figures to come on the show. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, wow, they must really want him for some specific reason, for some goddamn reason. I wonder what it is. Is this it? Is this why they paid him so much money to come on the show for him to act like this? People act like this all the time. It's a dime a dozen. People act like him every season. There's always someone that acts like this. But whatever. All right, and then Turbo and Nani, who they nominate? They nominate Jenna and Gus. I think it's because it's a burn vote. Kara and Theo, they nominate Zach and Zahida. Why? Because Kara hates Kyle and Zach was talking about Kara. And really, he wasn't even talking shit. He was just spitting out the truth. He was saying like, hey, Kara loves the fact that two guys are fighting over her, right? And Kara's all just pissed off and shit. And I just gotta say, how many times now are we seeing Cara Maria eavesdrop on people? It happens a fucking lot. She just, like, that is super fucking annoying. She just goes outside of any room and just listens to people. Like, come on, Cara. But yeah, okay. So what was her reasoning though? She's like, fucking, Zach, you're friends with Kyle, and that person treated me like shit last season. How dare you? But from what I remember last season, Cara, is that whatever Kyle was saying about you, and throughout the entire season, because by that time they were already broken up, Cara was like, "Oh, you're a fucking asshole," and blah blah blah, and crying and stuff like that. And then what happened eventually? She sat on his fucking lap as soon as he started to like give her a little bit of attention. She sat on his lap, and that's when her partner Marie was like, "Cara, what are you doing?" Out of all the times that you were like, "Oh, girls are looking up to me to do the right thing," and all that sort of stuff. She just, it's all a fucking front. As soon as Kyle, this giant asshole that you were like, oh my God, he's this, he's that, he's a fucking prick, he's a loot, like all this shit that she's saying. And then as soon as he fucking smiles at her, gives her a little bit of attention, sits on his lap. So what the fuck ever, Cara. What do I got here? Bear jumps on the poker table. Again, that's 6 figures worth of TV action going on. And then I also have to put down that when Cara Maria, what does she say? She tells Zach, like, you disrespect women. And I think this comes down to the elimination part, actually. She's like, Zach, you fucking disrespect every single woman here. And Jenna's like, hey, I will disagree. You got to stop playing the girl card. Like he doesn't treat everyone wrong. Like blah blah blah. And that's that is when after Jenna sticks up for Zach and says, hey, he treats some other women with respect. That's after that speech. Cara Maria goes very dismissively. She's like, well, anyways, yeah, my vote is for Zach. So, Cara, you just disrespected Jenna, the same girl that you're trying to say, like, you're welcome, Jenna, because Zach disrespects you. Well, you're disrespecting her as well, you fucking idiot. I don't know. Like, Cara Maria is going to get on my nerves a lot. I'll just say that. Let's see here. Let's go into the elimination itself. Yeah, Zach's voted in. And what? Oh yeah. So I don't know who wanted who. I think Zahida might have wanted Josh and Amanda, but I think Zach wanted Wes and Dee overall. But either way, it was Wes and Dee that were chosen to go in to the elimination. Lights out. There was a moment when Wes was called in. I was like, oh shit. Like, is he gone? Because all these not just veterans are going, but champions are going. So I'm like, of course, of course. Like I was already preparing myself. I was like, Wes, you're fucking gone. I'm sorry, but this is just the course in which this season is going. But Cara Maria, with her one positive that I can remember, she was like, why would you call in Wes? He's one of the most winningest eliminations. Like Wes is the elimination king. At the end of this episode, spoilers, he will be officially 14-6. 14 wins, 6 losses. And if you include the Champs versus Stars miniseries, he's actually 19-6. That's fucking insane. So this lights out thing, Was pretty cool. I didn't mind it. Again, TJ's like, ha 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 ha. He's just laughing because he's like, I'm turning up the lights, making people run. Aren't I fun? But eventually, I think what happens though, I think it's that Dee. She's like, she actually prefers the lights off because she's like, I'm just feeling the puzzle pieces and putting them where they go. Once you introduce the visualization part of it, there's colors and it just kind of throws me off. So she actually likes the darkness. So they eventually beat Zach and Zahida. So now we have Zach leaving. He is he is a champion as well, and Zahida, who I've really enjoyed looking at. I mean, she seems cool and shit, and she looks even better. But I mean, there are parts like I've said before that Zach doesn't really care for women. Like he does talk down to them and stuff like that. So it is weird to be like, well, Kara, you're kind of right, but in the worst way possible. You're just so annoying and grating to me. And I'm not done complaining about Kara. I think, yeah, so they walk off, right? And I just happen to notice that Cara Maria, the coat that she's wearing is fucking, what's her name? Melanie Trump? What's the first lady's name? But she's wearing the first lady's stupid ass coat of like I don't care. I hate everyone. That stupid ass coat. In the midst of all the shit, all the hatred that Donald Trump is spreading throughout this place, you have you have the first lady saying like I'm not even paying attention because I hate everybody. Meanwhile, you're supposed to be doing this anti-bullying campaign, so for Cara Maria to back up the first lady with wearing her coat, that's another strike amongst many other tally marks against Cara Maria. And I'm just fucking I was gonna say I'm fucking over it, but I'm sure there's more to come. And that was that episode. All right, now on to episode 6 of War of the Worlds, In Love and War. Let's see here. The mission, Doom Buggy, which is great. With the trailers, you assume to see this sort of shit every episode, and we really haven't. Like, the closest thing to like badass missions and breaking new ground, something different was what I can't even think of it really because you have the over heights jumping onto the thing and ringing the bell. That was kind of cool. And then you have the trying to find a random ball and then trying to run through mud without getting tackled. That was kind of cool, but we've seen that shit before. And this was great. Getting pulled behind a monster truck, you got 10 tires, you got to climb up and disconnect the tires, like there's fucking dust everywhere. And then once you get onto there, you get to unhook and you could disconnect your opponent. That's cool. Like this right here is what I've been waiting for this entire time. Let's get into the winners. Hunter and Georgia, Wes and Dee, and Kyle and Maddie. Very impressive for all these three. Some shocks for certain people, like Turbo losing. It's hey, everyone's allowed to lose, right? Like everyone's human. But yeah, I'm just like, holy shit, Turbo's human, and Natalie D, Ninja's human, that sort of thing. But I did see some reasons why. I mean, first of all, Natalie D, Ninja, she had to go first, which always sucks. And I think she assumed she had to leap from tire to tire, which really was not the case. Everyone just kind of grabbed the rope and pulled themselves up to the next tire. She assumed she had to jump. So, whatever. Nani ended up doing really well. In fact, she might have done the best out of the females. I am not sure, but that's what I seem to remember. In terms of, I think it was Car and Theo, they came in fourth place by like 19 seconds, 20 seconds, something like that. And Kyle and Maddie ended up getting into the tribunal. The other people that complete, I think Polly was the only other person that did complete it. And after that, he's like, I'm fucking winning this shit, motherfucker. Like, this is my title to win and stuff like that. And it's so weird. I don't know how to feel about Polly yet. Even now, I don't. Does it hurt that he's with Kara? Absolutely. I don't want it to matter, but it kind of does. It's so bizarre. And I think the fact that not just because he's with Kara, but because he is picking this fight, he's getting so personal in targeting the ex of Cara Maria. After a while, you have to think to yourself, maybe Cara Maria does still like Kyle in a way. Why so obsessed with this guy? And then, before, what was Polly in Final Reckoning? He was eliminated rather quickly, or I mean, he was thrown into Redemption House, and there he stayed for a long time. And when he did make noise on the show, it was lies. He was just saying like, "Hey, Brad, your girl was grinding her ass on some other dude or whatever," which was totally made up. And then he was saying like, "Hey, Kyle, I'll kick your ass" for some reason. He was just saying shit, just trying to stir the pot from the lowest peg. Like he was at the total bottom and he was trying to make a lot of noise from the small little pit that he was in. So I still don't know how to feel about him. Like he eventually came back from redemption, got into the actual house, and he performed pretty good in the final, but he ended up getting third place with Natalie. And then what else did they do though? They also like just straight up lied. They tried to strike a deal and said like, "Hey, we're not going to vote you in." And then when it came down to it, they were just like, "Hey, we're going to vote you guys in for." It was during the final. Give them a strike or whatever. So I don't know. I just don't like. Polly is performing well, but there's all these other factors that just I'm not able to get on his side at all. It's fucking weird. Okay, so Hunter, Georgia, West D, Kyle, Maddie, they win. They're in the tribunal. So it's time for them to vote in someone. And Hunter and Georgia, they vote in Amanda and Josh because why not? They voted them in before, and it's not going to piss off someone else. And I just got to say, I can't remember why I liked Amanda. I used to be way high up. I was high, I was hyped up for Amanda, and I really don't remember why. She's just sort of doing the same shit. And Josh, I don't know, it's not like I hate him or anything, but Josh is always like this. He's always just like, "Hey, I'm getting mad, and my mouth is constantly open." Oh, I don't know. Has anyone else noticed that? It's fucking bizarre. Wes and D, they voted in Devon and Bear. Wes wants to vote in Bear, Stefan Bear, because that's the UK alliance. I personally would have hoped that he would go against the power couple that is Polly and Cara Maria, but they might be working together. I mean, I think that was Zach's parting dying words when he was eliminated last episode. He's like, "I think they're working together, Wes and Cara." So it's entirely possible. Is it a smart move? Yes and no. I mean, you want to align yourself with strong competitors, but Wes and D, you guys are going to have to go against them in the final. Can you take them in the final? Anyways, Kyle and Maddie, they vote in Polly and Ninja. No surprise, because it's a personal vendetta. But going back to the Wes and D vote, throwing in Bear, I do remember Bear trying to get on Nani, and Wes saw that, and he's like, "Oh, I could use this to my advantage because Bear is also playing Georgia." And to get that vote in, he does say it. He just kind of says like, "Hey, by the way, Bear said that he's more sexually attracted to Nani than you, Georgia." And that's when Georgia just starts to break down. She's like, "No, no, say it isn't so," and stuff like that. Which is good in a way because that again is breaking down the UK alliance. Like, and true, Bear is like it'll later be revealed that Bear is just like, what do? You lie to them right to their face. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I would never sleep with someone else because I wasn't even around. Like Bear is straight up saying like I am like Georgia is going to watch this show and realize that Bear's a piece of shit. Six figures worth of piece of shits. Kyle and Maddie, they vote in Polly and Ninja. When it comes to the, what would you call it? The courtroom. No, I want to call it a courtroom, but it's not a courtroom where people have to plead their case why they shouldn't go or whatever. It's so fucking weird. Polly and Kyle are cool with each other. They're just kind of smiling. They're like, yeah, we know we're going after each other, shit like that. And apparently, people have said that those two, Kyle and Polly, are actually really cool with each other in a way. Like they're kind of goofing off with each other until Cara Maria's around. And that's when they turn it up in terms of like, fuck you, bro, and shit like that, which to me is kind of annoying. Like another reason why, like, I would prefer these two guys to be like all chummy and shit, not trying to, what they do, press their foreheads against each other just because Cara Maria likes it, which is exactly what Zach said, which is what pissed Cara Maria off. Oh my God, annoying as shit. Okay, so I remember when we were watching, or when I was watching this show, and we cut to the bars. I'm like, oh God, this is how it begins. We're gonna have another to be continued. Every single time when they vary off the formula, I'm like, God damn it, it's gonna be a to be continued. This sucks, but it's not the case. They do go to the bar, and it's mostly just about Leroy pining, not even wanting to win Cam back, and that's the annoying part. He is getting offended. He is getting, like he's apparently him and Cam have gotten together before. And going into this season, he told Cam, like, hey, listen, we're just going to be friends. That's all. And Cam's like, okay, I am single. There's Theo. Theo's into me. I'm into him. And they're going to make out at the bar, right? And Leroy tries to say, like, oh, she's just doing it in front of me just to piss me off, trying to get a rise out of me. So he actually calls her aside and says, hey, let's go back to how it used to be. That's not saying, let's get back together. That's just saying, like, hey, I want to be cool with you. Let's be friends again. That's not saying, Cam, you aren't allowed with any guys at all, you know? And then what the fuck does Nani do? Nani says something like, she's like, Cam sees that Theo is doing better in the game than Leroy. That is why she's going after, that is why Cam is going after Theo. And that is not the case. I don't like Nani, and again, this is just another reason why I don't care for Nani at all. It's like, what do you have in this game? Why do you even have to say anything right now? That is not the case. Cam does like Theo, and Cam is with what's her partner's name? Ashley C. I always want to call him Bear. Why is Stefan called Bear anyways? Really, he doesn't resemble a bear at all. Fucking Ashley C is fucking bulked up as shit, and he looks like a bear, but his name's Ashley C. Anyways, but yeah, Cam is with a UK person, right? So already she has that UK alliance protecting her in a way. She doesn't have to go out and try and like seduce a UK person to help her alliance. She already has that. This is genuine. She does like Theo. So Nani, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. I don't want to be so angry. I am liking this season. I am liking the show again. It's so bizarre. I think it's muscle memory. After what, 6 seasons of this, where the show's been just trending downhill and just getting me angry. I'm just so used to ranting and raving. And now I actually like it. But anyways, Nani, please be quiet and stop it. Okay. Okay, so I do remember Georgia. Wait, no, I think I already covered that. Yeah, Georgia asked Bear, like, oh, is it true? And Bear's like, no, it's not. And then meanwhile in the confessional, it totally is. Look at how I'm playing these girls and shit like that. Let's get into the elimination, where yes, Bear and Devon are nominated in to go into the sandbag burn. It's all about it's all about endurance, and they're wondering who to vote in. I think one of the nominees for them. is Jenna and Gus. They do appear weak, but they do have great endurance, which was displayed in the previous episode with the tire challenge, the stacking up tires, like running back and forth 14 times or whatever in the desert. So that was a good pick for Bear. He decides to go with Leroy and Shalene. And Jesus Christ, this is the first time where someone makes a I was gonna say a good pick, a logical pick. Everyone who's been called in so far have been like these crazy call-ins. Let's see here. Ashley, Bananas, or no, wait, Bananas called in Zach. But CT, JP called in CT, Zach called in Wes. Now Bear, despite all his bravado, is like, hey, let's pick someone who we know we can beat. Let's not try and like make our mark in the elimination world at all. Which is true and untrue. It's not true. I mean, it's Leroy, that is his area of expertise, the elimination. But Shalene, on the other hand, I don't know shit about her. She doesn't seem to be very good. And it proves out to be right. Like she really has no endurance. She has very little strength. It appears that she doesn't even work out. So they will go ahead and get that win. It'll come down between Devon and Shalene because Leroy and Bear, like they have to do what, 20 bags each, 40 bags each? I don't remember what it comes down to. But this was interesting. Devon and Bear, they win, right? And Leroy is like, it's been 10 seasons, no win. And like I've said this countless times, I was all about Leroy when he first showed up. I was just like, holy shit, he's the future. And then slowly, I've just been losing faith in him. But he hasn't. And now he's finally kind of acknowledged the fact that he's like, maybe I'm not that good at this shit. And that's why this season has been so good. It's been revelations for people. It's been the rug pulled out from under these vets, these champions who just assume that they got this all figured out. But for Leroy to finally say like, yeah, I'm not that good. I personally, as Vincent Cloud, feel so goddamn validated by it. So yeah, I mean, will Leroy retire? Who knows? I asked my co-host, Hardcore Dave, and he said no because he's a vote for Bananas, and so he'll always get an invite back from producers because they're like, whoa, he's Bananas' friend, and Bananas needs his allies and stuff like that. So I'm like, yeah, good point. But yeah, I don't know. Bye, Leroy. Is he? Yeah, he's our first veteran alumni to be eliminated. That's not a champion. It was a crazy trend going on for a long time, and now it's broken. That's all I have written down in terms of my notes. Like I said, I'm really enjoying this, and I hope to get a proper mic soon, so you won't have to listen to this direct. It's like this directly into the laptop, which I know is not good quality. But yeah, let's look forward to the next episode, shall we? Like, subscribe, comment. This was Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.